And here we go. Welcome everyone to yet another episode of ChatGDG with two fantastic guests. We've got Maurizio and Mirko. Welcome,
Hi,
guys.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. So, yeah, we're going to spend the next hour having a little chat with both of them, which, interestingly enough, both of them, you've got the same exact job title and you work for the same exact company. So this is quite interesting. So without further ado, if you don't mind, why don't you introduce yourself? Who wants to go first?
Okay, I go first. Thank you, Stefano, first of all, for having us here. So it's a pleasure for us to be here with you with ChatGDG. So you said the right thing. So we have the same job role and we work for the same company. To be honest, this has been true since 2010 because we had been working in another Italian company together for 12 years, and then we moved together to London in Datatonic, and that's why now we have a similar job role. So you can see it is exactly the same. So the job role name is the same, but actually the important thing is that we lead a team of Google Cloud instructors. So we have a career, we have an experience of teaching, of training people of IT topics, generally speaking. So just to give you an idea, I started as a network engineer. So the first training courses I've been delivered were training courses regarding the networking. So I remember when I started delivering training about explaining to people how ADSL worked.
Oh,
I know.
That's prehistory.
Exactly. So I remember when we started having this amazing technology, which was ADSL, that could help everyone to work at home. Maybe not so much working remotely, but okay, we started with this. I started with this, and then Mirko joined the same company, and I delivered many training courses and for many topics, as I said before. So networking, and then security and IT security, and then I started working with data and cloud in 2015, more or less, when we realized that cloud was pervasively affecting almost every field of IT. And that's why we moved on IT. So we started working with cloud when we realized that everything was moving on the cloud. So networking, cloud networking, security, cloud security. So there were a map among almost every topic that would have been included in the cloud. And that's why year by year I started learning new topics and including these topics in my training course, because the good thing was in my job was that, and it still is, that I'm not only delivering training courses, but I feel a training course as a project. So the idea is that I can build learning path for my customers. And then building a learning path is like building a project. So you start with designing the learning path, so collecting requirements from your customers, and then designing a learning path, and then implementing the content and what you are going to deliver in the training courses. And finally, I'll deliver it. So that's why I love my job, because I can see 360 degrees, whatever is included in a training job and whatever is included in attending a training course. That is
pretty good. What about you, Mirko?
Oh yes, well, again, thanks, Stefano, for having us here. And it was a pleasure to chat with ChatGDG. Very good, very cool name, by the way. Like I said, I mean, I'm very similar background with Maurizio. So actually, our cooperation started very long time ago, and we started working together. We shared the same experience, and again, we actually saw the the cloud technology was actually coming, and more important, data and AI, which actually nowadays actually is very, very, very popular. So basically, my background is actually exactly the same, more or less what actually Maurizio you do. Actually, what we also want to add is that we like what you do, and we actually put our passion in basically sharing our knowledge in in this field. And that's why we also started our own GDG in Modena.
Something that I forgot to mention, that you both run GDG Cloud Modena, right? So you are also part of the big family of the community side of Google. So you teach Google, but you also are part of that, which is pretty cool. So yeah,
exactly. So that comes from our passion for sharing knowledge. We felt that we wanted to do something for our local community and helping spreading the word, and of course great technology actually also Google Cloud is Google actually is sponsoring. And that's why we started this project. That's why we are here.
Very, very cool. So the first questions I've got for actually both of you, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, you both, let's say, you live between Italy and the UK, right? There is this kind of like how it's work. Like, do you run courses both in the UK, in Italy, for Italian and UK customers? Like, what's the deal there?
Yeah. So so the idea is that nowadays a trainer, an instructor like us, is mostly a worldwide trainer. So especially after pandemic, when they started, many customers started asking training courses also virtually, and that's why we deliver training courses all around the world, actually. So again, we have Italian companies which are asking us for training courses, but we also deliver for UK, for Europe, for Africa, Asia. So the only limit is the time zone, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
So it happened to me in the past, and even to Mirko, to deliver in a really, I would say, weird time zone, because when you deliver for India, for example, we begin our training at maybe 4 a.m., 5 a.m. It depends on the let's say sunlight, the daylight saving time. But that being said, Google, and not only Google, IT is a global need. So knowing IT is a global need nowadays. So no limits for our target, I would say.
Time is relative, so that's fine.
Exactly.
Do you actually, guys, because I would imagine the vast majority of these courses are being delivered remotely, so that's why. But do you also travel? That's interesting. So what's the split between an online training and actually on premises?
I take this one, Maurizio. Well, actually, I mean, after pandemic that actually changed our world, we are now about 25 on site and 75% on virtual. Before pandemic was like 95 or actually 90%.
99.
Sometimes 100%, So indeed, I mean, delivering remotely actually give you like flexibility of, doing multiple things in 1 week. Maybe you can squeeze like 2 courses, okay, in 2 different places, okay, because you don't have to travel, right? But again, so more flexible, and you can actually connect with multiple people at the same time, so you don't have the need of gathering a lot of people in one place and deliver on site. Okay, so for sure, I mean, more flexibility increases, of course, workload. Okay, we are more relaxed because you don't have to travel, so you basically take everything apart of travel related, which is very annoying. But at the same time, sometimes you feel like that kind of spirit that you feel on site. So sometimes a trainer feel like, want to be like in a real class. And in fact, indeed, when I deliver on site, I enjoy more because there's more like engagement. There's more like, interaction, networking opportunities, something that, you obviously you miss it on an online delivery. Okay.
This is the world in which we are living in, right? It's
Yeah.
exactly the same if you have a job in tech. Most companies nowadays, they run a hybrid model like we do at the times, and there are both sides which are very interesting. So I just can't see fully remote 100% or fully on site 100%, because the convenience of, in case of the people working from home, and I would imagine you guys to run a course, deliver a course from the comfort of your home is great, but also there is this human aspect, right, that is missing, because at the end of the day, it's lovely to have you here on the show, but how much better would it be if we were in the same room in this very moment?
Exactly.
So trade-offs.
So as you said, we used to saying that a training course is an experience at the end of the day. So, and this experience is much more physical when you are on site, because you can feel what your students are actually learning from you. So, for example, we miss, when we deliver remotely, we miss the full part of body language, which is really, really important.
Interesting.
So for a trainer point of view, now we have a long experience as trainers. So being a trainer is not easy, because it includes so many aspects, which are not just sharing knowledge. So I know Mirko said the main focus is to share knowledge, but sharing knowledge is not just communicating by voice, which is sometimes the only thing you can do when you deliver virtually, And that being said, we tried, especially in the last 4 years after the pandemic, we tried to add some, let's say, some tricks to our delivering to engage more the students, to give them an experience that should be never 100%, but at least, let's say, 80% the experience they could have in person. And the difference is for both, for the trainer and for the students. So as Mirko said, even from the trainer point of view, being in person is much more rewarding, just because you can feel the students' feelings, which are learning something from you. When you deliver virtually, you depend on the comments on the chat, or you depend on some anyone which is raising the hand. But sometimes it's hard, because you can find people who are really silent because maybe they are shy, or maybe they just don't want to interact so much with you. So the main focus when you deliver virtually is to keep a high level of interaction, using many tools, many tricks, as I said. So for example, a quiz, so you can just ask them questions. A game, the gamification became a huge part of our training when we deliver virtually, especially.
Because that was my next question, actually. Like what are the tricks that you've implemented throughout times, in terms of, I would imagine some icebreaker, some that kind of stuff. Can you give us maybe a couple of concrete examples on that?
Yes. So for example, just to give you an idea, okay, gamification is the first one, as I said. So you put a quiz and you ask people to find the right answer, to select the right answer, multiple choice or whatever it could be. Sometimes it's also adding some multimedia in your training. So you can add a video or add an audio. Or, for example, I delivered the training last week, and I put a video taken from the Google Next, which was presented 2 weeks ago. So I said, guys, in Google Next they presented this feature, and I just put the video, and 5 minutes. No, 5 minutes is too much. I would say 3 minutes, not more than 3 minutes. So some video here and there. Not only this, so a game, or maybe pushing them to ask questions. So when I have a trick, for example, my trick is I ask people, do you have any questions? This is the standard question that trainers, that instructors ask to their customers. And they say, do you have questions? But in advance that if you have 10 people, if you have, let's say, 20 people in the class, and if you say, if you ask, do you have questions? Maybe 1 or 2 can ask question, or maybe less. But the trick is, okay, if you don't have questions, I have questions for you. And then you should keep the interaction and engagement always in a high level, which is also much more challenging for the trainer point of view. In my mind, delivering in person, it's much easier to me than delivering.
Interesting.
Also, because it's like being like in a on-site, on-class environment. I mean, people are, first of all, less distracted, okay, because they don't read emails or they don't watch anything else or another screen. Second, they are away from their boss and their normal user. They are more like on site. I think the best analogy, Stefano, is like comparing theater and go for watching a movie on cinema. Okay, so this is kind of thing. When you are at the theater, you are more involved with the actor because actors are playing in front of you. Okay. And you actually can feel the same thing. You can feel the drama. You can feel the comedy. You can feel, it's more immersive experience. Okay. So what actually Maurizio was saying is that we try to basically bring everything we can, okay, in our online delivery, but actually it's not, it's not possible at all. Okay. So I think, okay, just to sum up, I mean, the greatest thing it would be like having like the both world. Like I said, you're saying we are living in a hybrid world. Okay. After pandemic, I think that's something that is gonna basically rule our normal jobs. Okay, and probably will remain that. So I don't think on site or let's say on presence delivery or even meetings will disappear. Okay, they were just basically more balanced. I would say, like I said, 25-75. That's I think is actually the correct ratio.
Interesting. Yeah. I totally get what you said in terms of it's almost a little bit of a harder job for you, right? You need to do your regular job, and on top of that, also being a little bit of an entertainer and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. So how, because I'm not a trainer, so I'm not a trainer myself. So I'm curious, like, how would you define? Okay, let's get back for 1 second. I guess throughout your career, you've delivered tons of training, probably in the hundreds. Okay, so now that you've got tons of experience, like, how would you define a successful training? Like, you've delivered the training, at the end of it you can really and safely say, yes, this training was really, really successful.
That's really interesting questions. And we asked ourselves our question when we started this job role that we are having right now, because now we are lead Google Cloud instructors. This means that we have a team of instructors.
Yep, exactly.
And
what are the metrics? That was what I'm interested in.
Exactly. So the idea is that we set up let's say a curriculum to prepare our instructors as well. So how to become a good trainer, how to become a good instructor. And just to give you an idea, so we have a hiring process which is based on evaluating all of these aspects you are asking us actually to evaluate if a person could be a good trainer or not. Because you can imagine, so there could be the best technician in the world that could be the worst trainers, and vice versa. because knowing topics doesn't mean you are able to communicate them or you are able to share this knowledge with anyone else. So when we try to evaluate a good trainer or a potential good trainer, and then we also deliver some internal session for them, we have this hiring process. Number one, to evaluate a trainer, I give you a topic. That's correct. I give you a topic, and I give you time to prepare. So topic based on whatever you are applying for being a trainer too, and you will prepare your class based on that topic, and you will deliver this topic to me. Okay, using number one, using some slides. Usually you have slides. This is the documentation. Number two, you should deliver the topic without using any document, but just with the whiteboard. By the way, we all have a smart whiteboard that we are using during our training. This is one of the things we added when we started delivering virtually. So we all have a smart whiteboard with our smart pen, and we have to use it during our delivery.
So you about that. So the smart whiteboard is something that you would use during when you give your training. You would maybe sketch on it, and then you would share this with the class, right?
Yeah,
so this is
we use a live whiteboard. So we are not sharing after we write it, but it's live session.
Yeah. This is sharing. I mean,
sharing live,
in real time, clearly. Okay, interesting. And they see in real time what you sketch, what you write, in order to keep the interactive. Do you actually use something like a mirror board, or these kind of things in order to also get feedback from the people?
Yes. We have so we have a specialized hardware, which is a smart board where we can use our pen. But sometimes when we deliver when we are not at home, because at home we have a big setup for delivering trainings, but we cannot just use our iPad. So we just use the iPad with our pen and to deliver it. And we prefer using Google Meet, because with Google Meet we have the mirror of whatever we are sharing, so we can see whatever people are seeing. And we have two ways of taking notes. So number one, taking notes on the slides. So we always use the slides and we write on that. And we also take note with a blank page, and we start explaining things. This is one of the things we focus when we evaluate a potential trainer. So if you're able to deliver slides and even whiteboarding, we say whiteboarding. This is number two. Okay, so number one, slides. Number two, whiteboarding. Number three, demo and labs. Because all our training courses are based on theory and practice. So the idea is that a client who is attending a courses by us want to be ready to use that tool or that technology the day after the end of the training. So we have a high percentage of our delivery which is based on labs and demos. It depends on the training. So for example, when we deliver machine learning training courses, we have 30, 40, or even 50% of the time delivering demo and labs. The difference is that the demo is instructor-led, the labs are made by students and supported by the instructors. Okay, so this is the number three. So we evaluate the trainer in these three things, I would say. Okay, again, slides, whiteboarding, and labs.
Very interesting. Mirko, go ahead.
I just want to add. Sorry, Maurizio, I don't know if you're done.
I wanted to add something, but no problem.
No, please finish.
Okay, just finishing my things. Okay, this is AB. Let's say ABC. Okay, A slides, B is whiteboarding, C is demo. So when we ask a trainer to prepare a teach back, we call it teach back. So they are teaching back to us to check if they are good of teaching. So this ABC, we are gonna duplicate it with a new topic. So remember, I said at the beginning, I ask the trainer to prepare a topic. So I give him the topic. I give them the topic maybe the day before, 2 days before. But after this, we'll check how to do it live. So with a topic that we'll decide at that time. So
Improvise.
based on a list of topics that you should know. Because if you are applying for a Google Cloud Machine Learning trainer, you have a list of topics you should know. And so the number 2 is we replicate A, B, and C slides, whiteboarding, and lab with a topic the trainer is not preparing before, but we are selecting it live.
How long does it last?
Is 90 minutes, Mirko?
90 minutes. Like a game of soccer.
Yeah, exactly.
90 minutes. Now, I just want to add this, Stefano, coming back to your original questions, like, what can actually make a training successful, okay? Of course, I mean, what actually Maurizio told you was actually we test our trainer to be ready to basically ready for the unknown, like, okay. But one very important thing is that, an experienced trainer, but, a trainer is actually understanding from the level of engagement that he is received from the audience, if actually is basically doing a good job or not. Okay, because a good trainer actually immediately feels like that if is boring, or is doing well done. Okay, so if you receive like quite of interesting questions on the topic, you are in the right direction. Okay, and if you keep this doing, for 2, 3, 4, even 5 days of delivery, which is destroying. I mean, give me like a high level of deliver for 5 days, which is like one of the maximum basically duration that you have. I mean, you can actually go out and say, yes, I've done a good job and I'm expecting great result. Okay, if you starting having people like maybe they're watching their watches, they start like
yawning,
or even they're doing other things. I mean, you have to change something. And another things that a good trainer has to do is to basically adapt its delivery based on what actually feels from the ground. It just don't have to go straight, teaching 1, 2, 3, 4. He has to have feeling about the platea, about the people, that okay, this feeling are listening to me, are understanding what I'm saying, okay, and based on that, a good trainer has to modulate, okay, has to vary the rhythm, okay, of the class based on what basically the audience has in front.
Yeah, very interesting. So you touch a very interesting point, right? So let's imagine I would say the vast majority of people who are probably seeing this, maybe they work in tech, different roles, software engineers, product managers, the usual job. Let's imagine that they work the 9 to 5 job. I go either to the office or I work from home. I do my things, and yeah, happy days. Like, what's the typical day for a trainer? I don't think that you did deliver a course from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So is there a little bit of deliver something, preparing for something, debrief something, like what's the deal there?
Yes. So as we said, as I said when I introduced myself, so I love my job because it's a dynamic job. It's not just delivering training. And the thing is, okay, to be ready to deliver training, maybe at the beginning, okay, when you start being a trainer, at the beginning you're just delivering something that someone else prepared for you, and then you have just to study that topic and then delivering it. But being a trainer is much more, because you are expected to know the training and to make let's say to add a bit of personalization of your training. So that means like, so I deliver a training course which is called Google Machine Learning on Google Cloud. okay, which is 5 days training. And this is one of the most challenging training, as Mirko said. It's also devastating for our side. But
So 5 days, 5
5 days, eight hours
in a row, 8 hours. So it's like 40 hours delivered
40 hours,
in a week.
exactly.
My God.
Yeah, that's really challenging. We are lucky because in this training, for example, we have more than 45%, which is lab-based.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would have been even worse.
Yeah.
But that being said, I wanted to focus on the fact that I delivered this training, let's say, 20 times. I don't remember. But I did never deliver it twice the same.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So, you have the same documentation, you have the same slides, same lab, but a good trainer could be good, as Mirko said, to adapt the training. Number one, for the attendees. So depending on the attendees you are having. And number two, if you have two different trainers. So Mirko and I, we have different style. We have two different styles of teaching. So we hope both of them are successful and we have good results, at least so far. And I hope it will keep going like that. But we have different styles. So you have to use your own style, given that you should reach the goal. So the goal, we know for each training what is the final goal. Just to answer your question, so the usual day of a trainer, again, it's really dynamic. So if you have a delivery, you know that you are 9 to 5 delivering a training. But to deliver the training, you should have prepared it. Sometimes preparing could be, we have two options. Number one, so we are delivering official training on the shelf by Google. So we have the slides that Google is providing to us, and we have just to deliver it. So we have to study that content, prepare the labs, and deliver it. For sure, adding some whiteboarding. Number two, which is, I think, much more interesting for our point of view, but even for the client point of view, especially in our case in Datatonic, we have many customers, many clients who are asking training courses which are not present on the shelf on the Google offering. So we should study the requirements that people could have, and we prepare a learning path, picking some topics here and there from the repository that we have in every Google Cloud topic. So for example, imagine a client could ask us a training course for, let's say, generative AI, for example. Now we have them, but last year we didn't have any official training course for generative AI. So Mirko and I, we built a course by ourselves.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
And we delivered it. So this is much more rewarding, as you can imagine. But again, this is a totally different approach from the trainer point of view, because we prepare training, we study, we prepare, we study, we deliver, and that is so. And again, it's not easy to say what is the common day for a trainer, because it depends on all of these things. Mirko, if you want to add.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's say we can, if you want to give some number, we are engineers, we like numbers. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. No, but let's say, 50% we are in class and delivery, 50% are in preparation and other kind of stuff. I mean, if you want to have a look like this.
Very interesting. So you should, of course, you are sometimes you are forced to cherry pick some of the stuff and try to bundle up in a deliverable, which is right for that client. The same thing for different client is gonna look a little bit different. So you also need to know, you need to gather some of, some context about that client, some of the know-how, right? In order to help you. How can I help you, right? I need to know you first, that kind of thing.
And in fact, actually, one of the important part of, our job, actually, there is like on some pre-sales activity, you know what I mean? Like basically we are sitting with the customer, we are listening for their needs, we understand what they have in terms of services, technology, all that kind of stuff, and we understand what is the training looks like, what actually their training requirement, because most of the time the customer does not even know what they have. So and our job is also to scope what the customer has, what the customer will need, and also eventually we should also know what would be the platea. Okay, because again, maybe you have a customer that is committing your course that does not know what is the level of the people that will attend. Okay, this is another challenging thing, because again, but not because customers are bad or something. No, because it's in a very
different level of, clearly, some people are less technical, some people are more technical, some people
a
are
lot of organization. I mean, it's very hard to keep track of what someone knows. So we sometimes we do also pre-assessments, okay, to find out what is the average level of the people and what would be the what they actually need. Okay, we are actually we actually recommend what we should actually deliver in the training. That's actually the best, of course, we can do in an ideal world. Of course, world is not ideal, so we basically find a trade-off between knowing nothing and knowing everything. So we are basically in the middle. Okay.
Yeah. When we have these scoping calls, so we are used to saying they don't know what they don't know, and that's why. So it's hard for them also to ask us the right training course that could be the best for them. So it's our job also to find out what could be the best for them. And the final feedback is also based on that. So you can deliver the best training, but maybe it was not the training that they had needed. So again, and this is maybe a really hard part of our job, but it's also rewarding when you realize that you hit the target. So
I mean, you act like a sounding board for the client. The client starts saying, I really need this, but then maybe 10 minutes in, do you maybe need something else? And the client says, yeah, actually, maybe I need something else.
Stefano, what is the most rewarding things at the end of the course, because we also look at the course is like when you have some of the customer that actually was asking to you, say, guys, I mean, your training was so remarkable. I mean, one of the best training I ever had. Those kind of comments, I mean, they will give you so much reward. The trainer, actually, I'm talking about, from the delivery point of view, because you say, okay, I did something. I had an impact on that team. The people are going out there and they can do better job because they actually have learned during my classes, and that is the most rewarding thing for a trainer.
So it should feel very fulfilling. Like, okay, I've achieved something. What I've done was meaningful for a bunch of people, which is pretty cool. So you said that, of course, you are an official, partner of Google training and whatnot, which is amazing from one point of view. The other point of view is like how I don't want to use the word scary because it's not scary, but there is a certain level of responsibility. You know what I mean? So being an official, trainer for all these like Google AI and cloud, technologies. So if you say something, if I am, one of the, average attendees, I don't know, these guys told me that. So in my mind, that is the truth, So how careful you should be, because that's also, I think, is an interesting point, right?
Yeah, exactly. So short answer, we have some guardrails.
Okay.
that every trainer should put. So for example, never announce a product you are not sure Google is going to deliver, or maybe some products but we are on NDA, for Google. Yeah. So, but not just for NDA. If you have some, for example, imagine a student could tell you, "Oh, I've read in a blog that Google is going to release an official blog. Google is going to release these maybe next month. Is this true? And we said, and we used to say, I don't know. I don't have this information. So again, this is part of the guardrails, because you must be sure that whatever you are delivering is from a Google Cloud official instructor, and so you should respect this, and you should avoid dangers like the ones you said. But let me say that we have more dangers which are not related to Google, but which are related to general topics. So, for example, you know that Google is mainly focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion. So we have so many rules to follow for it.
I know that well.
Not just for it. So you are aware, because even for GDG is the same.
Yep.
But again, so we know something like that. But not only this. So we have some, let's say, taboo topics. So we can't talk of politics, religion, or sometimes even news, even worldwide news, because could be something dangerous for you.
Sensible topics. Yeah.
Exactly. So sensible topics, generally speaking, because we are not there to share opinions, but we are there to share knowledge. I know sometimes it's frustrating. You can't express your opinion on that, but this is part of being an official instructor.
And there is actually one more thing, is that a trainer should actually also, if someone brought some hot topic, let's say, on the conversation in the class, that could actually contaminate the environment, okay, a good trainer should actually immediately stop that things, okay, and flip the page and moving on, and obfuscate that, because that will actually affect basically the training environment, and some people's feelings, so you have to, because you are basically representing Google,
exactly.
in class, okay. You have to stop that things, immediately. Okay.
Moderation.
Moderation
needs to, moderate the audience, and so like quite a few things to take into account. So interesting. So GDG, this word. So remind me, when exactly did you found GDG Cloud Modena?
Yes,
like a year ago, 2 years ago. When was that?
No, much less. Everything started last December, or end of November, because it was following the last Google Cloud Next in San Francisco, the one in 2023. So we went to the Google Cloud Next in San Francisco, and we have been working with Google for many years, but we didn't realize that there were, I would say, a parallel field, which is the field of communities. And we realized how big and how important this is for Google point of view in San Francisco, because we saw that there were many booths just for communities. And it was there that we realized this, and we said, so could we do something similar in Modena, because we both live nearby Modena. I'm not from Modena. I'm from Sicily. I'm from Messina, but I live in Modena. And Mirko is not from Modena as well. But
come on, okay, Maurizio, come on. Let's say we are from Modena. Let's say
you are from Modena. I'm from Modena as well, but we live nearby Modena. I'm just introducing myself. And but again, Modena is a really great place where you can start a community. We realized this. We didn't know in advance. Because we are in a good place. We are not far from many Italian locations, which weren't involved in the GDG. So we had the GDG actually in Bologna, but I realized that they have an activity, but it's a small activity, maybe 1 or 2 events a year. And the other one is in Milan. So we have 2 in Milan, but Milan is far from Modena. So we are in a location which is good, and we tried to, let's say, to check how much interest the Modena communities could have in a community sponsored by Google. That was the thing, and that's why we tried starting the GDG Cloud Modena. Cloud is because we work in the cloud. We have been working in the cloud since 2015.
We breathe cloud.
Yeah, exactly. And we tried, and we had good results. So we started the very first event, November the 30th, and we had 80 people. That for Modena was a really great success. So it was also a matter of first event.
Yeah.
But after that, we did one event every month, more or less, and we are having 30, 40 people each event. So
pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. And it is really rewarding again. But what I like the most from the community point of view is the networking. Is that it can allow me to know much more people, which maybe are working already in Google, but I didn't know them because I'm just delivering training. So it's another aspect of working with Google technology, and not only because GDG is not just with Google technology.
Yeah.
And meet many interesting people. And one of these, it's you, Stefano. So
true.
We met you because of GDG, actually.
True. I think that when was that we actually physically met? It was like
last January, I guess.
No.
Yeah, on January. It was on. I think it was
January the 15th, maybe.
Yeah,
I remember it was January.
Yeah, it was in January. Early January.
Okay. Wow. Okay. In January. So that should have happened right before I went to Singapore. Then. Because
I remember you said it. I remember.
I invited both of you over to my office, or the office that I work for the Times. Yeah. Now, okay. Now I clearly remember. We had a coffee there. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
classic cool. Italians, by the way, having a coffee,
espresso.
having a speech in front of
the espresso.
Espresso, exactly.
Yeah. Interesting. So I mean the community, aspect. I do. Of course, I've been, as you know, been involved since like 5 years. Was 2019. So I think it's very important because it can really gives you a lot in terms of the human aspect. Is not just showing up and learning new things, which is great. We always are, eager to learn, but the most important aspect is the human aspect that thankfully you may or may not like Google products. That's completely up to you, and that's fine. What Google really does well is this community side, because it's really done very, very well. So all the people are pretty good people. For some reason, it's very difficult to find the known good person within the community, because it's like literally a big family. I've got a bunch of friends which I can call friends without problem, not colleagues, no, just friends that we've been through many meetups. We've been to conferences together last year. Sorry, by the way, are you going to the IO Connect in Berlin?
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna meet.
Yes, we'll be there.
Yes,
we'll be there.
Perfect. And if this conference is going to be half as good as it was last year in Amsterdam, we are in for a treat. Last year in Amsterdam was incredible. It was really, really fun, really, really good. So all these kind of experiences, I mean, really helped in order for you to to give you this energy.
Exactly.
I just realized myself that I'm a weird beast that feeds with this energy, these positive vibes, really fills me up and really, help me keep it going in all these little, projects that I have. And I totally believe that it's the same for you, because at the end of the day, to run a meetup group, because this is what this, GDG's chapters are for, to run all these things is beautiful. is time consuming. So, and of course we don't get paid just because someone
Exactly.
maybe might have some doubt. Are you getting paid from by Google?
No.
No chance, just zero. So
Exactly.
we do this because we are really passionate about, and I think that is worth it. So what was your first impact with that? So you've created the GDG Cloud Modena, first event, 80 people, boom. What was the feeling,
Mirko.
Mirko?
Well, I mean, it was very great. Like I said, having all people listening to you again, and having like quite a good audience, which is kind of rare. I mean, felt very very good, and also because like I said, I mean, you need to have passion of sharing knowledge and transmitting this one, and having people that they come back to you say, oh, Mirko, I mean, you changed, you show me something that I wasn't thinking about, and maybe I read that one because you told me that. So all these kind of things actually again are rewarding at the end of the day. Again, like I said, Stefano is an effort, is a time consuming running a running a GDG, but at the end is also rewarding. Also, having, like I said, returning to the local aspect, which is, I mean, like you're giving something back, to the community, okay, your local community, which I think is positive and also noble. So I mean, I like it, and actually that's why we are keeping doing, and we have other new events coming up, and that's why we keep going.
Speaking of which, on the 22nd of May, maybe something is happening, right? Yes. So
Oh
we
yes.
we just published a collaboration, because also this why a community is cool, because you can collaborate across GDGs. So there's gonna be a very interesting collaboration, pretty much between GDG Cloud Modena and guess what, GDG Cloud London. So we are going to do a joint event. So the event is gonna take place, I think, in both places. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Exactly. Both pages at the same time.
The same time, which is cool. Actually, I don't know. This is going to be interesting to understand whether that had happened, before, because
I don't know.
I'm not sure that, because usually when you co-host one of the, events, that means that two groups join forces, they join the registration lists. There
Yeah.
is one, venue, and, everyone converge there, and it's beautiful. In this case, what we are doing is, so we are going to have the event physically. So you guys will be in London
Exactly.
at the headquarter of your company, Datatonic, in Canary Wharf, 1 Canada Square. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful location. So delivering a talk, which is going to be, as you are used to do, half theory and half is going to be also a hands-on part, which is really quite interesting. And that, so far so good, is the usual meetup, which is great. But at the same time, something is happening in Modena as well.
Exactly. So we are having the event even in Modena. The usual location we have a beautiful location in Modena, which is the Tecnopolo. So we have to thank the University of Modena
Oh, nice.
for giving this to us. So he's giving us for free. So that's really, really interesting. And there is it's a great location, and we are having people there in person. We are having the third co-founder of GDG Modena after me and Mirko. There is another guy who's called Davide.
Okay.
Who will be there hosting people in person there. So we are streaming
Nice.
what we are doing in London, and they are attending the
So
event.
it's a watching party, pretty much.
It's similar to watching party, but they are also allowed to ask questions remotely. So they will be part of the event as if they they wouldn't be. They were in London. So no, it's hard to ask all the people in Modena to come in London to London
Yeah, of course.
to attend the event, and that's why we're doing this. So we're having the in person. It will be a usual event in Modena, in person, with networking, with food and beverage as well as usual. But the speakers will be in London, and so this is, in my opinion, in my mind. So I had this idea, because in my mind, this is the real community event. So or let's say inter-community event.
Yeah. Because allowing pretty much anyone to be part. The people, if people wants to travel to London, you are more than welcome. But I would imagine that is a little bit of an ask for some people. So we are trying to make the best of both worlds. So really mix and match, different people from different countries. That's pretty quite interesting, actually. And then what we can do now, I'll throw this on the table. As you guys know, besides the talk, foods and drink and all of that, we will be running a raffle, because raffles are just fun. So what about the people in Modena then? Because the raffle is going to be, there. So given that you guys then are going back, so if someone from Modena enters the raffle and this person wins, we're going to give you the swag, and you're going to in person deliver that to the people, maybe during your next event. That can be cool.
Why not? That's a great idea. I like it. I love it so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if someone from Modena is going to win, this person is forced to come to your next event in order to collect the trophy.
We should have more. More gadgets.
That's a great idea. I love it.
Yeah. Can you, given that we are talking about this, can you give us a little hint about what is going to be the topic of the meetup?
Yes, why not? So just a little.
Don't spoil too much. Don't spoil too much.
No, I don't spoil. But again, we are coming from the last event, which was the Google Cloud Next. And what we realized from the Next is that, again, the main topic is always generative AI. So everyone talk about generative AI. And it was similar on the last Next event in San Francisco. The news this year is that everything is based on agents. So the new word of 2024 agents. So what we used to call LLM, large language models, which were just language models, they will become agents. And agents is much more. Usually we say a language model is a model which is able to fill in the blank, So when you have a sentence, you want to fill in the blank. What's the best word you can put in that blank space? Agent is much more. Agent is something that could be helpful for companies to solve many problems. So we are going to talk about how to create agents. And the good news is that this seems really challenging, really difficult. But with Google Cloud, we can create a new agent, a new LLM agent, in a few minutes. And we will be doing this during the talk.
Okay, sounds very interesting. So luckily for me, I'm going to attend the talk, so that's fine. But folks, please, join it. You can find the registration link is on, I think, both pages. GDG Cloud London. Just look for GDG Cloud London on Google, and GDG Cloud, Modena. So depends on which part of the world you're in, either London or Modena. Feel free to join, because it sounds very, very interesting. And correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are going to talk about the future, because this is the future pretty much. There is no other way, right?
I agree.
Exactly. Like in the movie Back to the Future, which are actually very, passionate.
By the way, I have
passionate about, all these geeky things.
These are my friends. Martin.
I have my Lego here.
We have here.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so we're talking about future, Stefano. Yes, absolutely. This is what we care about.
So if you don't want to, miss up, if you don't want to be stuck in the past, join
Exactly.
the event, because that is going to be pretty quite cool. All right, folks, that's been and this hour really passed by like this, because when the conversations are very interesting, time flies. So thank you, really appreciate you both being here with me, having this little chat. Any last words, any last thing that you want to say?
Yes. So we wait you all for the next GDG sessions, and again, more of these events will be coming in the future, in the near future, because we really love, as you said at the beginning, we are a community. We have many local communities, but we are a great big community, and we want to leverage this.
I'll tell you what, this can be a really good experiment, right? So if this goes well, I don't see why we should not be doing maybe one in Modena with people in London, or also people from other chapters. So that this can be interesting. This can be interesting. What about you, Mirko?
Yeah, I'll just say, come over. We will have fun, networking. A great time. I mean, I think it's a great experience. You can't miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. And last thing that I just noticed, Mirko, you've got on your background the map of the London Tube.
Absolutely,
right?
Because I'm a super fan of London, and the map is the Tube map. Yeah. Actually, it's kind of old, but I like it. There's like all
vintage,
the vintage things. I'm missing Victoria Line, but I mean that's fine. It's okay.
It's fine. Who needs the Victoria Line?
Despite that, they always get lost in London as well. So
that's why you're looking at the wrong map. Okay, all right, guys. So once again, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Yeah, and see you on the 22nd.
See you there.
Bye.